a relationship, that's the first relationship you ever have is with your mom. And so if that relationship has any breakdowns or any unresolved issues or a lack of forgiveness, it affects every single part of your life. If you're watching and you can relate, put in the comments a number one and let me know you can relate. And as you jump into the broadcast, let us know who you are and where you are watching from. It's truly exciting to see the reach of the videos and all the people that are touched and moved by these powerful stories that we're sharing. And so without any further ado, I want to bring to you guys the amazing Mrs. Williams-Bey. Hey, hon.
Hey!
See what I mean about that smile? See what I mean, y'all?
Yes. How y'all doing? How are you guys doing today? Thank y'all so much for having me and for tuning in with us today. We're just so excited to just share and speak to you guys about this powerful book that is just so much needed right now.
Absolutely. It's
Yes.
sure. But let's before we even get going into that, can you let the viewers know how we met?
Oh my gosh. So I'm like, I went to one of Charvette Mitchell, went to one of her conferences, and I remember Audra speaking. And since her speaking, I wind up, following her on Facebook. I wasn't really liking anything or anything like that. I was just kind of on the sideline, just checking her out. And then one day, this post popped up from her in regards to an anthology she was doing called Unchain Me Mama. And I just felt led to reach out to her. And then it was just magic from there.
And that's a lesson for a lot of us, even for me, because when she scheduled the appointment to discuss the anthology, she said, well, look, I'm already going to be in the anthology. I was just scheduling this meeting so you would know who I am. And I was like, okay. And she said, yeah, I've been following you for like the past year. I saw you at Charvette's conference. And it really was a testament to me of what I always say, that just show up. People are watching, people are connecting. And even though they may not like, share, or comment, it doesn't mean that your impact is not present.
Yeah.
So just keep showing up. The people that are meant to connect with you, they're there and they're lurking sometimes, but it doesn't mean that they're not getting it and being affected. So continue to show up, ignore the likes, ignore the comments, ignore the shares, and know that your presence is making an impact. So you were the clear example of that to me, honey.
Yes.
So tell the folks a little bit about who you are, what you do, and why actually you decided to be a part of this collaboration.
Wow. I was that girl from childhood that was counted out. I was counted out by society because of my upbringing coming up in Brooklyn, New York, in one of the most horrific, crime-infested, neighborhoods, bedside Brooklyn. I was counted out of love. I went through domestic violence. I was just that girl that was just counted out. And it's just like as I matured and I grew and I was able to take that pain that I went through and discover my purpose, I wanted to be able to reach back to others and share my story to help them and show them how they can be counted back in, right? And how they can actually achieve their dreams, how their voice mattered, how their story mattered, how everything that they went through had a purpose and a design. So whether I'm speaking, I'm also an early childhood educator. I'm actually here at my daycare center now. So if you guys hear some children in the background or some staff knocking on the door, that's me. But I've been an entrepreneur for the past 14 years. And early childhood education, that was my first baby. But now I actually also assist entrepreneurs because I have went through some things, as an entrepreneur. So even when it comes to business, I help entrepreneurs count themselves back in, how to overcome the storms and the trials that come with that. So I am a consultant and a recovery strategist to help businesses that's on the verge of closing, help them develop a strategy and a plan so that way their doors could stay open.
Ooh, girl, first of all, workers watching, because you need to comment. Anybody from Brooklyn, if you on this broadcast right now, hashtag BK all day, because I am Brooklyn baby. I was born in Brooklyn. I've been in Virginia 20 years now, but I was born in Brooklyn. So, we connect there. And I think it's really important what you do as a recovery strategist, because a lot of people don't understand how difficult entrepreneurship is, right?
Yeah.
And maintaining a business and surviving in this digital age.
Yeah.
My husband and I, we had a business that was a brick and mortar business with the lease, light bill employees, all of that, and we shut it down. So there's definitely a need for assisting entrepreneurs in that process. And I think most people don't realize how badly they need it until it's too late.
Yeah, yeah.
So I really applaud you for that and for being in business so many years. And daycare is such a up and down market, right? Even though people always need child care, most people don't really understand the cost that's involved with child care.
Yeah, yeah.
So I applaud you for all that you're doing in your day business, keeping families and protecting these babies and nurturing them, but then helping parents and entrepreneurs thrive. You rock. You got to go. So how did you take all of that and put it into your chapter? So without giving away the goods, right? Folks need to buy and Chain Your Mama the Forgiveness Factor. And they need to read your chapter, but just give them a little bit to get them excited.
Wow. So the name of my chapter is actually Loyal Dysfunction.
Pause. Loyal Dysfunction.
Yes.
That describes so many mother-daughter relationships just in that title. If anybody can relate to that, put in the comments a number 2s. We don't want to call you out. We don't want your mama scrolling, knowing what we're saying right now. So just put in the comments a number 2 if you can relate. Can you give them a little bit of background about that?
Yeah, so I know I'm not the only woman that's been here, but how many of you women have been in a relationship with a man for years, no ring, no commitment, right? How many have you ladies been in a relationship with someone and, you're working, you're doing all that you have to do, they're not providing, right? All of that. And we really don't understand it. And I didn't understand it until I actually got mature. But it was like I was taught that, you have to be that ride or die, right? That's what they used to call it back in the 90s, ride or die, the ride or die chick, right? But it's like, it's dysfunctional. It's dysfunctional, right? Just, it's so many things, right, that we learn from our mothers, right? But there's also some dysfunctional things that we pick up as well, whether it's from screaming at your children, whether it's from, being with multiple men in multiple different relationships, whether it's, sleeping with a married man. People don't understand, like, a lot of this stuff we pick up from our mothers, right? Yep. We pick it up from our mothers. And again, there's a lot of good that we learn from our mothers, but as far as for me and my household, it was a lot of dysfunction, from domestic violence to, it was just so much. It was just so much. And I don't want to give it away, but I'll leave you guys with this. Most women or most young girls grow up being attracted to the men that have the features or the characteristics of the father that rejected them.
Wow. Mm-hmm. It's true.
Yes. And that's part of my story. And it's so many other women's stories.
Yeah.
But we stay quiet because we feel shameful, because we feel that we don't want to, make our parents look bad or anything like that. But it's just like, if we don't talk, it's not going to stop. The dysfunction is just going to keep going and keep going and keep going, right?
And see, here's the thing. I think a lot of times, because externally our situation is not the same as our mothers, we feel that we're different.
Mm-hmm.
It's not true. Because how we communicate with other people, how we attract people in relationship is 100% in line with what we saw.
Yeah.
And we're duplicating it. Or, for example, I know one woman who felt she watched her mother in an abusive relationship for years. And so she said, oh, I'm never going to be that. I'm never going to have that. But while her relationships weren't physically abusive, they were extremely verbally abusive, the relationships that she was in.
Yeah.
I hear that work phone going. But, she had to learn how to communicate and have healthy relationships. And it was difficult for her to do that because all she saw in her household was the dysfunction. All she saw in her household was the anger and the abuse. So to her, that was normal.
Yeah.
She had so much resentment towards her mom because of that. And until she dealt with it, she was not able to position herself for anything other than what she saw. So for ladies for you watching, I know it may be difficult to hear us even talk about having mommy issues, but it's so important to have this conversation if you ever want to heal, if you ever want to have something that's healthy, vibrant, and solid in your relationships, and most importantly, for your children that are watching you.
Yeah, yeah.
Because this cycle will only break when you first acknowledge you're in the cycle. You got to recognize you're in the hamster wheel in order to get off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to. I mean, and it even goes deep as far as finances as well.
Yes.
The poverty mindset, the thought of thinking, that I have to have a man, or the thought that, I'm going to just have a child and I'm going to get child support and I'm going to go to the welfare office. Like, that is actually mentalities that some women, especially, those of us that have grew up, in those areas, in the hood, that was the mentality, right? So it's just like, we have to change that. What happened in the house is not going to stay in the house. Not as long as I have anything to do with it.
Right.
You have to expose things in order to be able to heal, to be able to grow, to be able to make a change.
And to be able to forgive.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
What you won't even face.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was something that was really hard for me, because for a long time, I didn't even know I was angry.
Wow.
I didn't know I was angry until I got into adulthood in the same situations where I was just like, that would never be me. I would never be like that. I turned around and I looked up one day and I was in the same situation that my mom was in.
Yep. Can anybody else relate to that? Because it's the truth. We do what we see.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you like it or not, we do what we see. And our kids do what they see. You can tell your kids what you want to tell them all day long. And you think, oh, they're not going to do what I'm doing because I'm teaching them better. They're going to do what they see. So if you want them to do better than you, then you need to do better right now. And that's the bottom line.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Pretty much. You have to. You have to.
Let the viewers know what's going on with you next. How can they, what will they learn from you? What can they connect from you? How can they follow you? Like, what's going on with you? Let the folks know.
Oh my gosh.
Like, what is Mrs. Williams-Bey got going on in her life?
I have so much stuff going on that I'm just so excited for all of my supporters, our supporters. That if you're in the Atlanta area, I need you to come out next Friday and next Saturday. I'll be in Atlanta on the 31st and June 1st for an empowerment luncheon for entrepreneurs with Ms. Demetria Blue. And then on June 8th, I'll actually be here at a women's conference called Women Wired to Win. And it's actually going to be in Sandston, Virginia. And it's also for entrepreneurs, wives, mothers, just come out. Just come out. And then on August 4th, I'll be at the Girlfriends Retreat in Williams-Bey, Virginia, So it's just going to be a time of just encouraging, embracing the women, and helping them level up in business and in life.
I love it. I love
yes.
it. You are amazing. I hear your phone ringing off the hook. Williams-Bey gets it all done. And I was saying this to someone yesterday. Busy people get things done.
Yeah.
You know, you learn to prioritize, you learn to balance, you learn to squeeze things in when you can. So, you know, don't push back the challenge because you feel you're too busy. Just connect with people like Mrs. Williams-Bey, who's learned how to juggle it all. Because she's not only a businesswoman that's effective, she's a wife and a mother.
Yes.
You know,
so,
right.
Yeah. Don't let nobody tell you because you have kids, you can't do it. I have 5 little babies. I have 5 of them.
Ooh, look, that's a Jesus, 5 fingers and a woo. And still walking around looking fabulous, right?
Thank you.
How can folks keep in touch with you? Where's the best place for them to connect with you?
Yes, I am actually on all social media platforms at Mrs. Williams-Bey. And then if you wanted to check out my website, www.mrswilliamsbey.com. And just stay connected.
Please make sure you connect with her. And also, if you have any questions, put them in the comments below, and she will definitely circle back around and respond to them. If you have questions on how, as a wife and a mother and an entrepreneur, is she juggling it all? You know, how did she finally come to terms with her mommy issues and get to the path of forgiveness? Make sure you ask her questions, and she'll respond and connect with you, and you'll be able to get all the amazing details when the book is Unchain Me Mama, The Forgiveness Factor. But until then, you can stay in touch with me in Mastering Meaningful Manuscripts, my online community, where we will be introducing these amazing co-authors in a few weeks. Yes, make sure you connect with these women because they are the bomb. That is it, guys. I love you. Have an amazing day. And we'll connect.
Bye.